Do you remember in grade school when you went out to the kickball field there, everybody lined up on the field, 2 captains were selected, and those captains marched out to the front, and you knew exactly what was happening next. It was time for those captains to pick their team members, and one by one they would select kids, and slowly but surely the kids who were left would get sadder and sadder until there was that one sad kid there at the end who had to get picked last. Or maybe you've made the mistake I've made where you've decided you're going to go on a vacation, right? And you decide, well, like an hour or a week before you're going to go on that vacation, and you get all excited. You do the research of the best hotels or the best Airbnbs, hop online only to find that none of those are available. The only thing left available is the Roach Motel down in the sketchy part of town. I know, I've done those things many times. My name is John Gluch, and I am the team leader of the Gluch Group. We're a real estate team that sells hundreds of homes every single year. And circumstances like that, like I just explained, have conditioned all of us to think of life in terms of scarcity. And what I mean by that is we all kind of understand intuitively that the best things go first, right? And you've had this experience lots of times. You go down to get a pumpkin the day before Halloween, and what was once a thriving pumpkin patch has one sad brown pumpkin left in the middle. Christmas trees the day before Christmas, same thing. You've got the Charlie Brown option. That's the only one left available, right? We all kind of get this. And this is true of housing as well. When homes are listed for sale, it's really easy for people to see how many days those homes have been on the market, right? Super easy these days on Zillow or Realtor.com or that kind of thing. And when people look and they see a property that they like, I know you've probably done this. I certainly have many times. You get on Zillow and you see a house and like, oh, I like that. That looks nice. And then you look, okay, how many days has it been on Zillow or on the market or whatever? And it's more than you expected, right? It's more than whatever the current market kind of dictates at the moment. You immediately think something's wrong. What's up with this house? Is it on a major street? Is it good? Something funny about it? Is it overpriced? People just get used to starting to ask those questions. So what you want instead of that scenario when you list your price and when you pick that original, that all-important opening list price, is you want a price that creates a Black Friday type environment, right? Where you've probably had a Black Friday experience. I've only had one and then I just gave up. I decided Black Friday wasn't for me. You march on down to Walmart to get your new awesome TV that you figured out is going to be priced great. And you get in there and the door opens and it's a mass herd of people trouncing, getting themselves to that TV. And you don't evaluate the TV meticulously. You don't spend, an hour looking around and whatever, looking at the box, making sure it's not worn. You just are thankful you got it and you head on down over to the cashier, right? That's the kind of environment that we want to create when we list a home for sale. We want people tripping over themselves to buy the house and not wondering what's wrong with this particular property. And that's where our pinpoint analysis comes in. This is a technique that we've created to help people understand exactly what the price of their home should be when they list it. Just as important though, as not overpricing it. You want to make sure you don't underprice it, because what happens is if you underprice the property, now you've got a situation where in most cases, you're going to get a lot of bids. If you underprice the property significantly, you will have multiple offers, and typically that's going to drive the price up. Even in slow markets, you have that situation. The best houses sell quickly. The problem is if you underprice it too much, now you're in a situation where people are wondering if they overpaid. Right? We all want to feel like we got a deal. We're all emotional people. We make decisions emotionally. We don't want to be surprised or caught off guard or realize we overpaid for that property. So we do not want to do that either. And again, this is where our pinpoint price analysis comes in. So let me talk you through exactly how this works. This is the very first step in starting the process of getting your home listed. This is a free service that we offer. There's no obligation. There's no cost whatsoever. It's just something we are happy to do to help you get the process started of listing your home. And here's what happens. First of all, we come over to your property and take a look. We want to see what's going on with the home. What's the condition? How does it look? And we will make suggestions for you on how to get that property really show ready. Now, these suggestions vary tremendously. We always ask, my favorite way of asking this is, okay, from 1 to 10, how excited and motivated and fired up are you to get this house fixed up, ready to go, ready to sell? And a 1 would be 0. I don't want to do a thing. I don't even really want pictures. Can you get someone to march over here with a cash offer to buy it as is, or to not even see the house and buy it as is? We can do that. Absolutely. That's not a problem. Or 10 being, I'll do whatever it takes, right? You tell me no, money is no object, time is no object. Whatever you tell me will maximize my profit on this house, I'll do that. And the vast majority of people fall somewhere in the middle, but you may be a person who's on the 0 or the 1 side, you may be on the 10 side, and we have different recommendations based on what your preferences are for getting the home ready to sell. Next thing we do is we want to review the market. And what most realtors call this is we're gonna look at the comps. And that is an old-fashioned, antiquated way of pricing a home. What that is let's look at the last 6 months of home sales in your neighborhood and price it based on those. And if the market's moving up, we'll price it a little higher. If it's moving down, we'll price it a little lower, right? The problem is you're looking at where the market was, and that is one part of the picture, but it's not the whole picture. And so we do a much more thorough job of evaluating the marketplace, starting with your neighborhood and your area of town. And we're gonna look at the active properties, the pending properties expired and canceled for sale by owner. We're gonna really survey the landscape. And we can only get up so much data on the MLS and on Zillow and those kind of sites. So we do actually the hard work of calling all of those listing agents, figuring out how many showings have you had, what's the activity been, what price would get that home sold today, because the current activity that's competing with you, they've got some information that we don't necessarily, unless we happen to have a listing in that same exact neighborhood. We don't exactly know. So we want to make sure we get all that data so that we can come up with the absolute perfect recommendation for you. The next thing we're going to do is review market-wide data. So like what's happening in your city. And we operate all over Phoenix. We've sold thousands of properties. So everywhere in the valley, we've got a good pulse on like what's happening in your city. And we actually have the data that we'll review with you of, are things moving forward? Are they moving backward? What kind of situation are we in? Are we chasing the market? Is it, all those different questions that we can take a look at, market absorption rate, all these kind of things. So we'll take a look at all those as well. And together we'll make a recommendation. Now here's the thing, in the end, this is your house. We're going to give you our best analysis and our best idea and suggestion. And we've done this thousands of times, so we're pretty good at it, but it's your house. We want you to price it at a price that you're comfortable with. You pick the list price of your home, and we're here to be your expert guide. Additionally, we will make this recommendation for you, and we will also make a guaranteed list price recommendation. So if you don't want the risk, you don't want to be, you just want to trust us. Listen, you guys are good at this. You figure it out. You tell us what to list it as. We'll trust you. At that price, we will guarantee that you'll get 100% of your asking price, or we'll pay you the difference directly out of our commission. This is a guarantee that ensures you know what you're going to get for the property, and we'll pay the difference all the way up to 100% of our commission. We put our money where our mouth is in terms of our guarantee. So we'll make a suggested price, like what we think it'll do, and then we'll make a guaranteed price of like, hey, we know this will happen. And then you get to pick, right? Or you could pick a third price, which would be whatever you wanted to pick, right? You're in control the whole time. So this is our process. This is how we get everybody exactly what they want. We make sure they know what price is best for them. Reach out today, come on over, have a look at your property, and get you a list price, a pinpoint price analysis today.